Well, it's been a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back, and it's time now to take a look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Texas Rattlesnake. He has been one of the more enjoyable characters that I've come across. I'm very glad I pulled him, simply because he can be used with three different move sets. And let's take a quick look. As you can see, all his moves are not completely maxed, but it kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at here. Ideally, we're looking at two greens with the yellow. There's going to be really three ways to play them, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys each way. So with the greens, you have the submission, which obviously feeds a Bray lineup, and you have this setup here. Now, trainer-wise, Andre the Giant, I don't have him at 5,000. The main reason I don't have him at 5,000, as a result, rather, of me not having him at 5,000, there's really no point in then leveling up the other green move, which is why I haven't done that. George the Animal Steel gets the green move going. This is the first setup, and this will be the setup that we'll first show you. It was ideal for a feud because of the fact that there's all the bonuses in terms of there was a 10% damage perk, there was the fill bonus, which was 10%, and then additionally, or rather, and then there was a 15% rather damage bonus, and then additionally you have the there was the execution 15% bonus. Now, at present, I don't have any bonuses. I'm sitting in a faction that is not in the bonus, so it'll really give us an idea of just what he can do. As we often do, we go to versus to kind of get that indication, and hopefully this will help us a bit to show what he can and can't do. What I'm going to do with this link, too, is I'm going to ideally choose somebody with no link so we can really see purely what we're dealing with here. And it really doesn't matter, but I like going to the less, because the less talent you have, the more points you'll get as a result. I just had kind of a brain fart in terms of what it's called. But let's take a look and see if we can find someone who gives us a little bit of a shot here. Is that a steel version? It's not. So we'll face right now this Seth. Or we won't face this Seth. All right, well, then we'll face the Silver Enzo here. It's better. Now, you're going to see this move is fairly easy in terms of what you want to target. What we're going to want to target in this circumstance is we're just going to want to target a green match if we can. So let's see if we can get one here. We can't. So there's no green match, and ideally what we're going to want to do here is we're just going to want to at least get a yellow to block. And now we walk right into the green match, and that's what we're going to do. So here's where it gets interesting and tricky at the same time. So these two moves essentially work to be a choose reinforce. Now, the reinforced gems, the value you have with them is that once they break, they don't entirely break. So the yellow gems will remain. So there's kind of a trick here. What you want to do is you want to understand that when you lay them, they're going to fall back on top of each other. If you lay them vertically and it's connected to nobody else, they'll fall back and you'll get another match. If you lay them horizontally and there's a yellow below, they'll fall off and you won't get the double match. So you don't even necessarily need to put them all together. You just want to make sure they're on the same horizontal stream. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. So I have these here. We're going to go. And I'm going to go with 3. Why am I going to go with 3? Because as long as I don't go to the right, we know there's going to be a wild card. So it'll wipe out the additional. Now, here we can do it a couple ways. We've got 2 more left. Unfortunately, it'll be a match, but we won't be able to double up on it here. So in this circumstance, what we're going to want to do, we can do a couple things. We can go here, and we can go across, but then it won't guarantee the wild card, or we can just stack it, which is what I'm going to do. It's a very conservative move here. But what will happen here is basically we'll get 2 rows completely wiped out, and you'll see. And then this will indicate this going forward, and off we go. 1. See, and there's the wild cards, and off they go. And, you can kind of see it hits, it'll knock him out. Now, this move, and I tested it quite a bit, the move comes in around 50-55. So it was enough to beat Enzo here. But it's not necessarily going to hold up if, you're facing somebody who's got real kick-out potential. So there's another way to play him, and I'll show you all shortly. So we have Seth. Let's see. We'll face this Vader. Vader will be charged, which is annoying. And that'll be charged. And this Seth will be charged. So maybe it's the battle of which ones we want to face charged. Well, at least the Vader will give out the green gems. So what we're going to do here with this one is you're going to see another way to play him, which deals with the training. We're going to take Andre off. And by taking Andre off, what we're going to do is we're going to instead, and it can be done a few different ways. You can go with Callisto. You can go with Big E. Big E will maximize your value here, but I'm going to go with Callisto simply because my Big E is not that high. So let's see if we can find Callisto. We know he's on somebody, so let's take a look and see what we can find. I must have skipped right on by him. 2, 3, 4. Maybe not, though. Did I miss him? Huh. Could I have missed? There he is. He was available. Must have taken him off somebody at some point. Okay, so let's take a look at his moves. So here he's going to choose 5, and he's going to make 8 reinforced gems. So he's going to, basically, we're going to have 5. And watch, you're going to see what we're going to do here. Now, obviously, our only hope is that, after this barrage by Vader, that, maybe we can survive it. That's always the issue you always find when you have showboats, is that, there's going to be an issue in terms of kick out. But in this circumstance, we get our green match. Take a look at what we're dealing with. So he's going to hammer me here. Okay, so here's what we want to do. Ideally, we don't want a match. So what we're going to do is we just want 5 gems broken. But the pin bar is tilted, so it may start off with a pin, which then just becomes precarious. But you'll see where we're doing it here. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, there's no 2 across. We should be safe with these 5, but you never really know. The pin bar hopefully won't infringe us. So ideally, we just want 5, and we want that wild card to fall to the bottom and not create a match. And it didn't. And there we go. So we have the 10, and the move is ready to go on turn 2. And I'm going to put it up here where it can't be broken. And even though he's got 38, he's going to have a heck of a time kicking out here. Watch. Or he can just kick right on through. And that's the danger anytime when you're dealing with protect gems, is the idea here is that he can't kick out. But here he did. I mean, you guys see it. He kicked out. I'll also note the fact I didn't have the finisher maxed, which hurt us, and it also took away 2 protect gems. So, I mean, that did play a role in this circumstance. But you can kind of get an idea of the way it was supposed to go. Him pulling out the large barrage was not, was not the way I drew it up. But that's kind of what what we're looking to do. And look at this. I mean, we got a flare checking in, and that's what's nice about some of these videos. You can see, really, this wasn't how I drew it up. It wasn't the way it was supposed to be. And now we're just going to beat him the way we were hoping to, originally. I'm not even going to look to do a match. We're just going to try to blunt force trauma him, as I would say. And ideally, with 3 here, we'll go this way, and we'll get our wild card. and this will knock out that whole row. And you get to see the stunner for a second time. So, wasn't how I drew it up. You can see that's how that version goes. And then lastly, we'll take a look at the Bray version of Stone Cold. As you can see, my office was calling along. Now this, it's effective. I'm just not overly sure, how well this will work at a higher level. And I'm not going to take him up even further. Sorry, guys. With the WrestleMania event, it's just, I'm not going to max him out. But this should give you a pretty good idea either way in terms of how he works. Let's see if I can get Bray for him. All right, there's Bray. And then we're going to put on, I'm going to go with ZKO simply because I don't have Austin. And it'll at least work this way. There he is. Okay. So this is going to go to about a little over a 30K submission. And we'll do it. We'll face this Bray. No, we're not going to face this Bray. 1 stars. Let's try this Bray. So we can actually show some competition here. So the race to find a black match begins. And of course, there is not one ready to go, and there's not a green either. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to ideally block. I'm not going to bring it down. Watch, we're going to go like this. And that'll set up the black match, unfortunately, for Bray, but it doesn't help us in the interim. Still no black match. And there's his red. And, look, sometimes it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, but, you can kind of see what we're trying to do here. And now Bray's going to unleash his fury on us. And if I'm a betting man, and I am, our best hope is that, if we can get a pin somehow, maybe he can go for his finisher. Nope. The AI has improved. In the past, the AI would go for the pin, and now they're not. And again, it just shows you how many matches, the computer really can roll out on you. And, it's still didn't hit the pin bar. Now he's dead, and that's that. But, you can kind of see what we're trying to do here. Unfortunately, the board didn't cooperate with us. Really what you're trying to do is trying to get the black match. It'll send him back. It'll get rid of all those red gems, and, it'll knock him down 30. But unfortunately, it really didn't work out. We're going to try it one more time. If we can. Maybe not. One more shot. Let's see if the Miz cooperates with us. All right. No black again, unfortunately. So we're going to block that yellow. And there's a black for us. Hopefully the Miz doesn't take it. Miz takes his green. We're going to go with the black. There it is. Okay. We're going to lay here, here, over here. All right. And down goes that MP.